Good morning, students. Today I am starting with English Class 12, first poem of the Flamingo book, My Mother at 66. It is written by Kamla Das. Here I want to give a gist of the poem, what the poem is talking about. Looking at the title, My Mother at 66, what idea comes to your mind is the poetess mother is of the age 66. Means, of course, she has entered into the old age. Yes. So the theme is old age. That aging is a natural process. And of course, after old age comes the next inevitable thing, which is death, and which nobody wants to talk about. It's a very sensitive thing. We can't even think of the death of near and dear ones. And that's why such kind of complex ideas, emotions are running in the mind of Kamla Das, and on this theme only she has written the poem My Mother at 66. Now let's start the poem. Few lines I have written by my own because it was missing in the book right now. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. So who is I here? Of course, the poetess. The poetess is Kamla Das. Okay, now she is driving from my parents' house. Means she is leaving her parental house and she is going to her own house, maybe, to Cochin. Of course, so the first question is, where is the poetess heading to? She is heading towards Cochin airport. Okay. And when it was? It was last Friday morning. I saw my mother beside me. What's the meaning of beside? Beside means she was just sitting next to her. Who? The mother. The mother of poetess Kamla Das was sitting next to her in her car when she was heading towards the airport. Okay. Doze. What's the meaning of doze? Doze means sleeping. You have a short nap. You know, it happens when there is a cold breeze and morning time. If the journey is slightly long, what happens? We generally fall and take a short nap. So even the mother, being on old age, she had a short nap. Open mouth. Yeah, it happens generally when we are sleeping in a sitting position. No, our mouth opens for better respiration. Her face, ashen-like. What she noticed about her mother's face, it's ashen. Now what's the meaning of ashen? Dull, pale, due to illness. Here, the pale face of the mother is because of the age. Of course, she has come to a certain old age. You know that old age comes, we find the aging, we find wrinkled face, we find dullness, lack of energy, vitality. Like, now in poem you must know that these words are very important to be taken care of. Whenever you find the word like or as, means the poetess is comparing something. She is comparing her mother like that of a corpse. Corpse, you know, it's a dead body. Suddenly she says, when I was noticing her mother, the mother seems like a dead body. So like and as word, it depicts which figure of speech? You know that? Yeah, it is simile. Yes, you have to take care. The figure of speech used here in this line is simile. So now we find that the poetess has compared her mother to a corpse. Now why she compared her mother to a corpse? Just imagine that the poetess' old mother, she is sleeping, eyes closed, mouth open, and her face lacked the vitality, the energy. For a fraction of a second, she just gave a sight of a dead body. Yes, and that's why she realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away. So now, for a second, she felt that her mother is looking like an old, or you can say looking like a dead body. And then she realized, yes, my mother is old. She's 66. And definitely she is going to die very soon. This very realization, the painful realization, no, that she is going to die. She wanted to put that thought away from her mind. No, nobody can think of the death of any near and dear ones. So she wanted to put that thought away. I hope you have understood the first extract So there are some quick questions for you, students. Just check it out. The poet is speaking of seeing her mother on Friday evening. Is it true or false? The poet saw her mother beside her dozing. Yes or no? As the poet's mother dozed, her mouth was. Complete the sentence. The poet compares the pallor of her mother's face to what? And why? Besides these, there are some more questions which I would like to ask from the above passage. First is, who is I in the above passage? Next question is, why the poetess compared her mother to a corpse? What painful realization did the poetess had looking at her mother? Okay, now heading towards the next extract. That she thought away. What thought the poetess wants to keep away from her mind? When she realized her mother is so old and she is going to die, she wanted to put that thought away from her mind. She wanted to divert her mind. So what she did is, now she looked outside the car, the outer area, and looked, but soon put the thought away and looked out. Okay, so just to divert her mind, what she did is she looked out, and what she found, two important images she has noticed here: at young trees sprinting and merry children spilling out of their homes. See, again in this here, very two important images she has used. You have to take care that first is she has used young trees sprinting. First, I would like to discuss this. Young trees sprinting. You have to keep in mind the poetess has used this image to compare and contrast. Just keep in mind she has used this image to compare and contrast her old mother with her young world outside. The trees are young and they are sprinting. You know what's the meaning of sprinting? To run as fast as you could. Why she find the trees are running? You all know that. It's a common phenomena that whenever you're moving in a car or vehicle, you find outside the stationary things are moving in the opposite direction. Like if you're moving this way, you'll find outside the trees are moving in the opposite direction. That's why she find the trees are sprinting, trees are running. So which figure of speech can you find here when you find trees are running? See, running is a part of human behavior, no human attribute. Trees cannot run. So which figure of speech you can use here? It is personification, definitely. As well as you have to use, right, it's also a metaphor. Why it is a metaphor? Because she is comparing the trees with her mother. You know that. Now, second thing she noticed outside, the merry children spilling out of their homes. She also found there are children who are merry. Merry means very happy, and they are spilling. What's the meaning of spilling? Spilling means the moment of a liquid coming out, like the water spills from your bottle. So why do you think why the word is used here, spilling means? Because as they are moving in a car, no? Maybe children are coming out of their homes, but in car it seems like they are all spilling out. They all are gushing out from their homes, and they are all merry. They are very happy to come out of their homes. So what she noticed, that outside the world is young, vibrant, happy, full of life. But inside her world, in the car, her mother, she is old, decaying, and she is nearing to her death. That's why these two images are very, very important. You have to take care the young trees sprinting and merry children coming out of their homes. The outer world is full of enthusiasm, cheerfulness, youth. Children are also a part of youthness, right? And her mother is old, aging. You can find her face is very pale, ashen-like. Okay, so have you understood these two images? So let's see what questions are coming up here. The poet's mother was as old as she looked. Yes? Do you agree with that? You have to say yes or no for that. The poet put aside the thought of mother's aging. Why? The young trees looked as if they were dash. And you have to spot which figure of speech is used in this line. The children were dash out of their homes. What they were doing and which word is used in the above stanza to describe this word. Now what happened is finally the poetess reaches the airport. Okay. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale. Can you spot out any figure of speech in the above line? Security check, standing a few yards. Yes, you can see which word is repeated again and again. Which letter exactly? You can find security S is repeated, standing S is repeated. So which figure of speech? When the first letter repeats, it is alliteration. 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 Okay. So coming back to the lines here, what the line is saying. So finally the poetess came there. She did the airport, all the procedures, and now they are away from each other. They are standing apart from each other, of course. I looked again at her, wan, pale. Okay, so when she looked at her mother first time in the car, again what she noticed, her face is dull, showing the sign of aging, no kind of, you can see, vitality on her face. But she tried to divert her mind and she looked out. But after all the process, what happened is, again she looked at her mother, again what she noticed, her face is very wan, her face is very pale. Wan means colorless, of course. She lacks youthfulness, she lacks the brightness on her face. Of course, you know that because of the age factor. Here are some questions, quick questions. The poet is reporting about a time after her security check. Yes or no? The poet stood a few yards away after the security check. Why? Why they are away? The poet's mother appeared to be dash and dash. Which two words have been used here? The word dash indicates that poet was looking at her and a second time. Which word is used? Which shows that she was looking at the second time. Coming to the last stanza, a very simple poem. Standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan and pale. Who is her here? Definitely you know, the poetess mother. Wan is pale, dull, colorless. As, just in the first stanza I talked about this. Whenever you find as word or like word, which figure of speech? Yes, simile. S-I-M-I-L-E. Simile. As a late winter's moon. Again, the poetess is comparing her mother to late winter's moon. First of all, we have to see that in winters, the moon seems to lack the shine. Why is it so? Because there is so much of fog and mist present in the environment, in the sky. So what happens is, it seems that the moon is lacking the shine. In the same way, the poetess' old mother is also lacking the shine on her face because of aging, and felt that old familiar ache. What is familiar ache? You have to keep in mind, maybe the poetess, since her childhood, my childhood fear, since her childhood she must be having this fear in her mind of separation from her mother. Okay, one day she'll be separated. This was her familiar ache. Familiar trouble she always had in her mind, that she used to have worry in her mind that one day she'll be separated. But you have to keep in mind, but so many emotions are going on in the poetess mind. The worry, the pain, the separation, old age, death. But all the things were restricted in the poetess mind itself. She did not reveal all these things to her mother. And what she did, all I said was, see you soon, Amma. You know, that's a common phrase. When we part from any person, we say, see you soon, bye bye, goodbye. Okay, now this is not a common thing here. Why? We can find, see you soon. It's an ironical here. Why ironical? Because maybe the poet is also knowing this in her mind that time when the poetess is going to come back here, her mother won't be alive. So she might not be able to see her again. That's why see you soon, Amma can be a very ironical statement. Okay. And all I did was smile, smile, smile. Here the entire word is repeated 3 times. Which figure of speech you'll find here? It is repetition. Okay? When the entire word repeats, what it is? The figure of speech is repetition. So, there are 2 things which you have to keep in mind. Before the poetess left, she said one thing to her mother, see you soon, Amma. Okay? And she only smiled, smiled and smiled. Here we can explain smile, smile and smile in 3 different contexts. First of all, she was smiling because she was hiding all her fears from her mother. That's why, means behind her smile, she was hiding her fears. Second smile, because they were standing at a distance, you know that they are few yards away. They cannot talk, so that's why they are smiling, exchanging glances to each other. And third smile, maybe in her back of her mind, she thinks that she might be able to meet her mother again. So what she is giving? A false assurance. The false assurance of meeting the mother again, not only to herself but to her mother, and that's why she is smiling that they might be meeting again. She is parting at this positive note, and that's why she is smiling. I hope you understand the 3 meanings of smile, smile and smile. Few questions more here. The mother's face was seen in the winter moon. Yes or no? The childhood fear the poet is referred to is her mother's death. Yes or no? The poet refers to her mother as Amma in the poem. So, of course, Amma word you can depict that. The poetess must be from which part of India? She must be a resident of which part of India? All that the poet kept doing was dash, dash and dash. And why? She kept on doing that. What can be the reason behind it? Okay. Now few questions from my side also. Why the poetess compared her mother to late winter's moon? A very important question. What is the childhood fear the poetess is having? What were the last words before the departure of the poetess? And what is the significance of those words? What is the significance of repeated smile of the poetess? I hope you have understood the poem, and if you have any problems, any doubt, you can come up with your doubts. Thank you, students.